Noswaith blwyddyn 12, a croeso to our Year 12 progression evening, which is one of the events that we would normally hold in school. But being able to hold it virtually will allow you to review the information being shared with you. In this presentation, I aim to outline the potential pathways that you will have next year, after you have finished your A-level studies. We would normally invite guest speakers to do various workshops with you, from universities, apprenticeship providers and employers, and it is usually a really interactive evening. Obviously we can't do this at the moment, however we do want to provide you with as much information as possible. As you will be aware, the situation is improving, as we have already arranged for groups such as the Gwent Police and Careers Wales to come into school, and we're hoping to secure more soon. Of the event. On this page of our school website, you will find different groups and companies explaining the various routes you can take, how to do that, the process and the timelines involved. We want to give you as many opportunities as possible to explore the pathways available to you, and now is the time to start thinking about it. Most of our students traditionally go on to university, but there are lots of other options that are there for you. University might not be the option for you, and that's absolutely fine, but we still want to support you and give you as much help and guidance as we can. We want to show you how you can prepare to learn about all the things you can do now to help you prepare for those applications, for whatever it is that you want to do. Realistically, you will have about 5 different choices for the end of Year 13. As I said, the vast majority of you will go on to university, and that's fine, if that's the right thing for you. But there's lots of work involved in this, and you have to start doing some work now to start preparing. It might be that you're undecided about whether you want to go to university or to go into employment. It could be that an apprenticeship is the right thing for you. There are different types of apprenticeships. You can go into an employment-based apprenticeship, where you work on the job and you're paid and trained. You can also do what is called a degree apprenticeship, whereby you enter into an agreement with an employer who will employ you and you are trained on the job, but at the same time you're following a university course, and every couple of weeks throughout the year you will go to university to do some research or academic work. Over the course of a period of years you will come out with a degree, but also a job at the end of it. It might be that you think you don't really want to study anymore after A-level, and that you want to look at something like a college-based course. We will be able to work with you to help you decide what course option is best for you and your future career. It may be that you've had enough of education by the end of Year 13 and you wish to look at going into employment. We will also look at how we can support you and how to best prepare you for that role. Courses. I'm going to start by talking about the university process, because traditionally I would say that this is what 85 to 90% of our students choose to go on and follow. Any university application has to be made through what is called Ucas, which is an organisation that handles every single university application that is made throughout the country. It is quite a time-consuming process with an awful lot of research involved. There are a few things that you will have to do, including completing the application form on the Ucas website. It can take quite a while, as there is a lot of information that you have to put in. You will have a maximum of 5 university and courses that you can choose. You will not need to put these into rank order, instead they will be ranked alphabetically. There are some restrictions to this process though. If you have decided that you would like to make an application to Oxbridge, which is Oxford or Cambridge, you can only choose one. You have to think about which one is perfect for you, which one offers the right course for you, and which one has the right environment for you. If you have decided that you want to do Oxford or Cambridge, with applications for dentistry, medicine or veterinary science, you are only allowed to make 4 applications to these courses. Your 5th option can be a different related course, but cannot be for medicine. Those applications to Oxbridge and for dentistry, medicine and veterinary science have an early entry deadline, and I'll talk more about this in a second. Trying to decide what to do is perhaps the most difficult thing. If you're one of those very lucky people who knows exactly what they want to go on and do, then you are ahead. However, you still have time if you don't, and it is so important that you research your options in detail. You have time, and there will be courses out there that you won't have even thought about, so you really need to explore the Ucas website. This is the list in 2021 of what were the most popular courses, and they are quite wide and varied, but they tend to be, in our experience, the sort of courses that most students apply for. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't apply for them, it just means that in many universities the application process is quite competitive. The actual process on applying to university is completed online at ucas.com. It's a website with a whole world of information, and you need to spend some time on it, researching and finding out about different courses. If you go into the undergraduate search option, every course in the country will have what's called an entry profile. On that entry profile, it will talk about the specific qualities that they are looking for in candidates. But it may also list specific subjects that they require for their course. They may say specific grades and entry requirements, and what is part of their offer, whether it's purely on grades, or whether they will make you what is called a points-based offer. The Ucas tariff points table is actually on the Ucas website, as well as in our Sixth Form prospectus. A-level grades are worth a certain number of points, and universities will either make an offer based on your grades or your points. You need to spend an awful lot of time looking for the websites because they will have everything that you need to support you. You need to think not only about the course you are interested in, but where. Why might you want to go to that university in the first place? You are potentially spending 3, 4, or even 5 years of your life in that university, in that city or town. Is it the right one for you? Do you like small environments where you might know everybody? Do you want the city experience? Do you want a campus-based university where everything is predominantly on one site? Or are you happy to go to a university which is a bit more spaced out? What about the accommodation offer they make you in the first year? Will they guarantee you accommodation? There are lots of different questions that you need to find out the answers to, and you will do that by looking at the entry profile and all of the information of those courses and the universities. If you are looking at the entry requirements, think about what you're currently working at and what your predicted grades might be. If, for example, a course is asking for entry requirements of 3 A's, and you are only realistically predicted 3 C's, the likelihood of you being made an offer at that university is slim, so you need to be a bit realistic with the choices that you are making. It's really challenging because for the first time in your life you are having to sell yourself to somebody and actually say you are good enough for this course. What university admissions tutors are really looking for is that motivation to study that course. They'll be able to see if you've got the academic ability through your predicted grades. The personal statement is an opportunity to talk about everything else you have done, to show that you're capable and motivated to study this course. It will be stressful and take a lot of drafts to get it right, but you will get there and we will support you through that. In Year 12, when everybody is registered, we will assign you an individual mentor to work with you on your personal statement and your options. They will also be responsible for writing your academic reference. Some of the things that you can do now to help you in the process are demonstrate what we call those extra or supercurricular experiences. For many courses, especially vocational ones, work experience was always the big seller if you look at medicine, law, or teaching. If you could get the opportunity to go and experience what it is like, then that was a really important factor, and you could talk about that in your personal statement. Current work experiences are allowing students back in, and we have managed to arrange places for our Year 13 students. But there are also a lot of online experiences that you can participate in. And if you look for them on the internet, they are out there, in the form of webinars and discussion forums. Some vocations offer online work experience, whether that be for medicine or law, different things like that. And everything that we are told about will be posted on your Google Classroom or on the social media outlets for the school. So please ensure that you're monitoring the Google Classroom year group stream daily. You need to try and get involved in those things, whether it's just the webinars or public lectures to demonstrate to an admissions tutor that you are doing more than is required of you in the curriculum. Make some notes on the things that you're doing and going through. Think about what you've learned, because you'll be expected to write about that in your personal statement. Once your whole application form goes off, some universities and courses will ask you to sit an admissions test. These are predominantly for Oxbridge applications, medicine, dentistry and law. But other courses also require it, so you need to do some research into the different admissions tests that you may have to sit. For mainly practical-based subjects, you might be required to go through auditions. Many universities are also requiring that you attend an interview, and currently these are being held remotely, so you need to ensure that you have the facilities at home to do this, or give the school plenty of notice should you need our support. These interviews can also be quite daunting, so we can help you with mock interviews, and many student forums online will share the kind of questions that they have had in the past for you to work on. One of the things that we will hopefully do is mock interviews with the Cantinian Society, who work with you to help prepare you for an interview. One of the things that we expect you to do once you've completed the AS course is to spend some time doing online courses called Moocs. You get those through Future Learn or Open Learn, and they are an excellent opportunity, as they are an excellent way of demonstrating what you are trying to do and doing something above and beyond the curriculum. These are courses that are prepared and designed by universities around the world. They are free and online, and they range from 2 weeks to sometimes 6 weeks, but they're not demanding of your time, just an hour or two a week. They demonstrate perfectly your willingness to go beyond the curriculum, and we will encourage every single one of you to try and do online Future Learn or online courses with Open Learn. You can then write about your experience of that in your statement, ensuring that it is full of appropriate content that makes you more desirable to that university. The reading that you do is so important for every single course. There are opportunities out there for you to do additional reading on your course, to find out about that subject, to find out about the relevance in everyday life. There are things that will really stand out in your personal statement, and the sort of things that you should do or not be doing now, certainly when we have completed the A-level courses. As I mentioned earlier, there are some deadlines for Ucas. In May of this year, what's called Apply opens, and we will ask you all to register with Ucas. We will set it up for you. We'll give you what's called a buzzword. You'll be able to register and link your application to the school so that we can monitor and support you in that process. We'll also ask you to start filling in the application form, because if you get the main bulk of that done early on, it's not going to be such a rush when it comes to the actual applying. Oxbridge Medicine and Dentistry candidates have an early entry deadline of the 15th of October. However, in order for us to write your academic reference, we need that application to be completed and submitted by the end of September. If this is your intention, you need to start looking at doing this very soon. Think about the things that you are doing that you can write in your personal statement. We have an overall school internal deadline of the 1st of November, and we want everybody to have submitted their applications by this date. The Ucas official deadline is the 15th of January. But we ask you to do it sooner, because as soon as people start making their applications, universities are able to start offering places to candidates, and we don't want you to be left behind and find out that certain courses are full before you have even submitted your application. In February of Year 13, what's called Ucas Extra will open. This means that if you are unsuccessful in your application to your 5 university choices, you have another opportunity to see what courses are available currently and make an additional application. Ucas want to give you as many chances as possible to get on the course that you want. We will work on this with you, if that's the case. By around March or April time, most people would have received their offers or rejections or invitations to go to interview. We are usually around the end of the process by that time, so by early May, Ucas will ask you to make a decision. You will choose one firm choice, which is the university that you hope to go to if you get the grades, and one insurance choice, which should be a lower offer, because if you miss out on your first offer, you should be accepted by your insurance choice. If on results day in Year 13 you don't achieve the grades you need for either of your choices, we will help you to go through what is called clearing, where you will see what courses are available to you, and or if it's the right thing for you to go on and do, and we'll help you through that process. There is also something called adjustment. If on results day you do even better than you thought you would, and you think, actually, I might be able to go on somewhere and do something else, and they've got courses available, then adjustment will identify what courses you may be able to go on and do. So there's lots of different options with Ucas, and lots of different ways of working through it to help you get onto the courses that you want. There are other implications that you need to think about with university, and predominantly that's cost and the finance available. Currently, university tuition fees are £9,250 a year, and you would work with Student Finance Wales to cover that cost. Payments will begin once you've graduated and are earning a certain amount of money. There is a separate Student Finance Wales presentation attached in this area. It is for current university students, but we put it on there to show you what is available and how it works. The Welsh Government currently provides a means-tested grant to support you, and you will get that grant for a certain amount of money. For example, you don't need to pay it back based on family income. The Student Loans Company and Student Finance Wales will also work with you to offer different loans and sources of finance. You should also look at the university you make a firm choice to and see what scholarships or bursaries might be available. Universities want to support you, but they don't want the cost to be a mitigating factor in you deciding not to go. So there are hardship funds, bursaries and awards available at virtually every university. So you will need to research them to find out if you are eligible. The other thing to remember is that there is a cost in applying, which is currently £26, and it is paid directly from you to Ucas when you submit your application. When you press submit, just so you know, it doesn't go to the university. It comes to me, and I have to check it, proofread it, and check everything that you have done is completed and submitted correctly. Once we've approved your application, we will write your academic reference. So every subject that you study in Year 13 will provide a predicted grade, and we will use that as part of your overall academic reference and recommendations from the school, which we will then attach to your application and then send it to Ucas for you. So please don't think that when you press submit it goes straight to Ucas. It doesn't. It comes to us. But we need the time to do that properly. So for example, if you apply to Oxbridge and you submit your application on the 15th of October, it's not going to go on time because we're not going to be able to turn around an application and reference with such short notice. That is why we have specific deadlines to make sure that your application goes on time. So please make sure that you keep to those deadlines. But you need to start doing and planning this now with regards to research. Of course, university isn't for everyone, and it might be that you want to go on to further education, not university, but a different sort of education which can lead you into different routes. For many people, this is the correct thing to do, because colleges can offer you more specific studies in a specific field. Level 3 courses, the equivalent to A-levels, may still have specific entry requirements, so you need to research and find out about them. They are predominantly useful for vocational courses. Specifically, we find that nursing and the access to nursing courses offer a different route into that study. It might be that social care have better options in courses for you in colleges. There may be interesting ICT courses that can lead you into specific areas of work, and they might not be available at university. If that is your preferred pathway, you need to keep an eye on the college websites to find out how and why you need to apply, and then research the different choices you have available to you. There is more and more information out there now about apprenticeships and training. Degree apprenticeships are not just in engineering and science-related fields. Apprenticeships and degree apprenticeships are available to you in all sorts of areas. And if you look at a company like Dŵr Cymru, yes, they have apprenticeships for engineers, but they also offer management apprenticeships, HR apprenticeships. There are all sorts of different things that you can do here if going to university is not the right choice for you. We advise these as much as we can on our social media pages and on Google Classroom, but a lot of the information is available on the Careers Wales website. An apprenticeship will give you clear training. You'll be paid, but it's either in a general or specific field, so you need to do the research about it. They'll pay you and they may possibly sponsor your qualifications. If you do a degree apprenticeship, you might not have to pay tuition fees at all. It might be covered by the employer, and at the same time you're still being paid. These are suitable for everyone, and I really want you to think carefully about the route that you are going to take. They do have different deadlines. There are no specific dates, and you need to keep an eye on the websites like Not Going to Uni and Careers Wales so that you can see when they are advertised. And then you can make a rapid application. If you need support with that, again, you only have to ask. We are here to help you. It might be that by the end of year 13, you think, I've had enough of education and I just don't want to do it anymore. I just want to get out and earn some money. Again, that is absolutely fine, and for many of you, it will be the most appropriate pathway. The start of earning your own money, the start of moving on and doing things differently with your life. We will try and support you where we think we can talk to an employer, or whether that's through CV writing or through writing a letter of application. The thing you have to remember though, is that it's your qualifications that are going to be very important to support your application process. Those A-levels that you achieve will be the ones that you have for the rest of your life. So you need to think about the different jobs or promotion. They are still going to be on the application form, and they are going to be an indicator of your ability to be resilient and to work through this incredibly challenging process. You're going to stand out if you do very well. So even if you're not going to university, remember how important your qualifications will be. Keep an eye on specific media outlets that you think that you might be interested in. Follow them on Twitter, as many of the jobs are now advertised on social media like Twitter. LearnDirect.co.uk can offer you information about CV writing, but if this is the path that you think that is right for you, please speak to us and let us know, so that we can work with you and Careers Wales to support you through that process. You might think that it is very early to be thinking about these things, but it actually isn't. You need to start thinking about it now, because you need to plan how you're going to get there. Think about the experiences you've already had and what you can do to help you make those choices. It is really about research. So what we have on this page of our website are different videos and information about those specific routes for post A-level. Please spend some time looking at them, thinking about them. Look at the guide to Ucas and the personal statement writing. Look at the different university information pages. Think about signing up to one of those university newsletters, because they'll advertise when their virtual opening days may be. Specific webinars and courses that might be interesting, videos for different events and YouTube are available on this website. Pay attention to them. Think about some of the summer schools you could apply for, whether that's through the Sutton Trust, individual universities, or through different organisations. Spending time on that is going to be incredibly beneficial to you. Remember, the grades will count for offers to universities, and even for degree apprenticeships and applications, they will perhaps want specific grades. But the final bit of advice for you is that you need to read about your subjects. Read about the possible employer or your apprenticeship. All of that information is going to be beneficial to you whether you're writing a personal statement or an application form. They will all want to know what your motivation is. I hope that you find all of this information useful to you. Please look at the videos and contact us should you need further support. We are here to help you and support you through this process. Good luck with those choices, and please know that my door is always open should you need further advice. Pob lwc. Diolch yn fawr.